history to do that. So the boat has been the subject of films. If people are telling you constantly you only can achieve X, don't listen to it. It's because you can definitely achieve Y. One of them was told that the best she would ever do would be a barista in a coffee shop, and now she's a pilot. He's telling me stuff, and I'm half paying attention. And I flip it over, and on the back I see, under interest, fire eating and juggling. If you put the same thing that everyone has on their CV, then don't expect any exceptional results. One thing that we have to remember is that we make their dreams come true.
Monaco Yacht Show, and we're in La Rascasse, you know, the ACREW base, and we always hope that we run into interesting crew. And guess who I ran into? Our winner of the Master Unlimited of 2024, Mr. Shawn. How are you today?
I'm very good, and thank you so much for having me here. Just a real pleasure to be with you on stage once again here at the Monaco Boat Show. Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better. For the few people, and anybody that doesn't know him, I mean, you should be ashamed. Could you introduce yourself shortly?
And in this industry for longer than I care to admit, I've run some pretty significant vessels. Primarily, probably the one that's the most famous would have been Latitude. On that boat, I did the Northwest Passage in both directions in consecutive years. We were the third boat in history to do that. We then circumnavigated Svalbard and punched within 500 miles of the North Pole, just slightly above 82 degrees. For that, we won Boat International Voyager Award. We're nominated for another Voyager Award. And most recently, last year was a good year for me and for Latitude, of course, winning your award, which was a great honor. And thank you again very much for having that event. And the other one that we won was a big one. It was from the New York Explorers Club and the Monaco Explorers Club, and it was given by Prince Albert Award, and we won it was kind of like the best in show for all the exploration that we did on board Latitude. So that was an amazing honor being up on stage with Prince Albert here in Monaco and receiving that award. So the boat has been the subject of films like The Highest Latitude, and I don't know how many articles, news articles. It's been in books. Yeah, it was a really, really amazing run. And I am, again, on board Latitude right now here in Monaco. So it's
because you're out for anchor, right?
We're out at anchor.
You got her out of the shipyard in no time, boss on board and out on anchor.
Absolutely, yeah. We pulled out of the shipyard 2 days before the show and came here, got her cleaned up, and then put her into the show. And this is something that, that actually, part of that segues beautifully into what we're talking about, was new crew breaking into this industry. So I met with a former chief stew of mine. We had a coffee at the Monaco Yacht Club, and I said, Lenka, I'm looking for a day worker, and I need a couple day workers just to get the boat in shape. So she put the word out on Instagram. That's, if you have an Instagram account, it's a great way to communicate, of course, with also through ACREW as well. My point is that person brand new to the industry contacted me, and I looked at her CV, and she had some interesting things. And this is another hint. If you put the same thing that everyone has on their CV, then don't expect any exceptional results. So even though that she was new, and she had zero experience on board yachts, one of the things that I saw on there, that she made her own homeopathic and natural cleaning products. So we've had her on board the boat. She jumped right in, was super keen to learn, is super green. And I like that type of, I like new crew coming in, especially because they don't have any bad habits that they've learned on other vessels. And as long as you bring a good attitude and a good work ethic, well, then you're always welcome on board my boats.
Look at that. This is like from the master himself. Like, tell me a little bit about how your career started.
So my career started, I was 14, and I got a job on board a sightseeing boat on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. By the time I was 18, I got my first captain's license, and they made me a captain on board the boat. It was for a ferry company called Highline Cruises. I was the youngest captain there. And we did ferry trips between Hyannis, Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyard. And from there, I worked at other organizations, and I continually kept upgrading my license. Now, one of the things that I was told was that there was a cap on how big a license that I could get. They said the biggest I could possibly get would be a 3,000-ton master, given the career path that I started on, without going to a maritime academy. I continued doing what I did. I got on bigger boats, and This is a piece of advice that I definitely want everyone to pay attention to, is that if you have an opportunity to take a course or continue your education that's above the level that you think you're going to achieve, take it. So I took all the courses when I could for the Masters Unlimited test. So when a window opened up, I had the appropriate amount of time, I had the appropriate amount of tonnage, and the Coast Guard changed the rules slightly. Because I had taken all the courses and was ready to go, I was able to upgrade to a Master Unlimited. And today I have a Master Unlimited in Sail and Power, and I've run unlimited tonnage vessels, which is why I was able to win the award that I did for you guys.
Exactly.
But
So you're saying if you wouldn't have done it because you thought there was a cap on what you could achieve, you could never have broken through that glass ceiling?
That's precisely true. It's like, don't ever let anyone put a limitation on you, or any rules made by society or by people can be changed. And so if people are telling you constantly you only can achieve X, don't listen to it, is because you can definitely achieve Y.
Oh, totally. I believe that you can achieve anything.
Absolutely. The other thing is, I was very fortunate. I've spoken at the Harvard Business School 3 times and the Harvard Travelers Club. The last talk that I gave was untested crew in extreme environments. And what I was very fortunate to be able to be up on stage talking about the crew that I've served with, because I would not be where I am without the wonderful people that I've worked with. And what was unique, again, we'll point about Latitude, was that was a boat which technically wasn't able to do what it was supposed to do, or everyone said it couldn't, with an untested crew of people that technically weren't qualified to do what they did. And yet we did it. And then we did it again, and we did it again. And we produced amazing movies and the growth that crew had on board. And the key thing is when your goals align with your organization's goals, that you can both achieve things organizationally and personally that you could not achieve alone. And so when you're looking for a position on board a boat, look for a culture that you can integrate that actually will help you achieve your personal goals, because it's not a one-way street. And I think a lot of boats you come on board, they're looking for slaves, and that's not my attitude. I want you to grow. And the best compliment to me is not if you stay in the position forever, but if you leave and go on and do something extraordinary. And then I've done my job.
Exactly. Well, if you leave because you've learned so much that you're able to take that next step inside or outside of yachting, it doesn't matter, right?
No, exactly. I mean, Latitude produced a cinematographer that works for Disney, a commercial pilot, an illustrator, business owners. I mean, it was amazing. And these were people that didn't graduate college. One of them was told that the best she would ever do would be a barista in a coffee shop, and now she's a pilot. The other one was told, you're not a good enough artist to be an illustrator. And the owner of the vessel just compared her to Picasso. Just the other night having dinner, said her drawings were very simple, but they brought forth an emotion that was incredible. And these were skills that we encouraged on board. And these were also skills that were noted on their CVs. Don't be scared to put things on the CV. Don't put things that we think that we might like, because you don't know. And why would you want to be on a boat that culturally doesn't fit? The other piece of advice that I gave to somebody was, been fortunate. I've had really great exploration programs. We've done amazing things. And there are not a lot of those programs out there. And I had somebody said, well, how to find a program like that? I said, well, one of the first things that you can do is you can create the environment that you want. I said, so if you've got an owner that you have his ear, talk to him and just say, hey, by the way, I hear we can go to Greenland. I hear we can go to Svalbard. And then show him the movie The Highest Latitude, which you can find on the Worth Avenue Yachts website. On the YouTube channel. There's a whole section called Dive In with Captain Sean. Watch The Highest Latitude. It's a fantastic video. It was put together by Shelton Dupree, who was my first officer. He knocked it out of the park on that.
Is Shelton your first officer?
Shelton was my first officer. Yeah, that's the guy who did The Highest Latitude. You know Shelton?
Do you know what the thing is? It also is like, as you said, like basically say, dream big, right? Just that believe in yourself, dream big, but also find an environment that suits you. Because you're so lucky with the owner, with the boss, that he allows you to hire all these weird people in a way, right? All these Because
But
otherwise, what would happen?
but they delivered. It was like that was the stars aligned for that boat in a lot of ways, and we kept a lot of that crew for a lot of years. So there wasn't a lot of upward mobility on it because no one was leaving. But our juniors went on to do amazing things, you know. And been very proud of that. Is like a lot of the people that I've had on board my boats have gone off to be captains on other boats, and to me, that's the greatest compliment to me as a teacher.
Yeah, I want to go on to that part. It's a very good bridge because we talked about the new crew. You get some really good tips of advice, but like everybody's telling me, and I just want to hear your opinion, that we're lacking career-focused crew. Do you agree, or do you see it differently?
Career focused crew? What do you mean? People just coming into the industry and then leaving?
No,
Or?
yeah, I'm talking about. But you said like you produced quite a few of captains, right? People that became captains. That's your focus on that career. You want to grow, whether it's interior, exterior, or in the engine room. It doesn't really matter. Do you feel the way that people are not as ambitious as they used to be? Because I disagree, to be very honest. But
I disagree as well. I just, point in fact, the new green crew I had on today is like, I mean, she doesn't really know anything, but that's not her fault. She just hasn't learned anything.
Yeah.
But she was very focused and willing to work. And if she carries that ethos into the rest of her life, into her career, I don't think it honestly, people ask me if I could describe myself. And I don't think of myself as quote unquote just a captain. Closest thing I would be, I think if I really have, I guess, ethos than anything else is if you're going to do something, I think make it beautiful. And that includes methodologies at work. It includes just even crew uniforms or anything. Is bring some type of artistry into what you do, especially into boat handling. You know, there's like a lot of guys that just don't feel the artistry in it. And then you get guys that are just like, that are naturals at it and that really can just feel it move. And you watch it coming in here to Monaco. You can see the guys, sometimes they'll just that perfect sweep, anchors drop nice, and they just slide it right in. That's artwork. And then you get the guys that come in that are very rigid. You can tell, and they're nervous there because they're just playing it by the numbers. And they're not really feeling it. And I guess it's the same as being like a professional musician. Is like, you know, the reason that you practice your scales or practice things on a piano is so much is that you can, once you do sit down to play a piece, you can bring your own style and emotion to it. And that's what boat handling is. It really is. At its essence is just being able to let that flow and and just doing things reflexively. But that's a lot of hours too behind the wheel.
Yeah, you got people. You've got this old 10,000 hour rules. Not sure if that exists, but it doesn't matter. Practice makes perfect.
100%.
But what you're saying as well is you need to have passion for it. You need to have feeling for it. It comes with a lot of things. Life does come with a lot of things. It's not only we're talking yachting because we're at the Monaco Yacht Show and you're here and you're a captain, but this actually applies to everything.
I touched upon when I won the award is like, you're in an industry that you're surrounded with people that have made their dreams come true. If they're entrepreneurs, they've started with nothing and brought companies into existence. I was working with a guy 2 days ago here at the show. He was into biotech, and he's invented new types of medication that didn't exist. And he's bringing that panache and that artistry into boat design. And that's really the industry that you're in. If you're in here and you think you're just driving the bus and doing that, you're missing so much more.
Yeah.
Even the naval architects, like what they're putting into the boat, or if you want to get into the engineering side with sustainable energy and the propulsion systems that's coming out today, if you've got that bent, you can go in that direction. Just in paint coatings on board these boats that you can make things amazing. If you get a bent for technology in AV, you can become an ETO on these things and do amazing things with all of that. I mean, it's an incredible, incredible industry that you can go in so many different directions. If you have a basis as a stewardess on board, but if you want to get into a little bit of design and you're talking to the wife of one of the guys and you say, you know what, I've got some ideas for design, and they go, wow, that's amazing. Next thing you know, you could find yourself being the head of design for, like, not just a boat, but for all their 12 apartments all over the world. I mean, it's like we work with people that make dreams come true. And one thing that we have to remember is that we make their dreams come true. And that gives us tremendous power and tremendous value. And never forget that.
I should shut up now. This is the perfect ending of what we've done. We make dreams come true, but we also make their dreams come true. My God, Shawn, I'm so impressed. I am. I have been. Normally, I talk a lot. I don't need to.
Oh, well,
I can
thank you.
just
Okay.
sit here for hours and listen to you. So, what's next?
What's next? Oh God, we've right now the project I'm working on. It's awesome. The mission statement I have is something that will change the world, but is beautiful, and that is the next vessel that I'm working on right now.
Yeah, as you said, it's artistry. So,
It's all artistry.
thank you so much for coming by.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon.